Four companies have overtaken our world and our lives without us even realising it. They've slipped in under our noses and have created a society that relies and thrives thanks to their help. However, what we see isn't always the truth. We see four businesses striving to facilitate our lives and make everything easier. They help us to find whatever we need. They help us to buy it once we've found it. They've become the things we need to buy, and they've become the places we share the purchase. They've become ingrained in our lifestyle, and without realising it, we now struggle to live without them. These are the four most influential companies in the world: Facebook, Apple, Google, and Amazon. What's the secret to their takeover? What makes their brands the best of the best? And are they as angelic as they seem? In this 4-part series, we take a look into each company to work out who's the best of the best of the best, and who's done the worst of the worst. This is EntreConnect on the 4 horsemen of the business apocalypse. 30% of US households own a gun. 64% subscribe to Amazon Prime. The ultimate e-commerce company was founded in 1994 by Jeff Bezos under the name Cadabra Inc., but was changed to the infamous Amazon.com a few months later. Bezos also thought about naming the company Relentless Inc., and while it wasn't chosen, that's exactly what they have been. After the founding in Washington in 94, the company began as an online bookstore in 95, with Bezos' aim of becoming the largest online bookstore firmly in sight. In 97, Amazon went public with their IPO price of $18 per share. In just 3 years, they'd gone from nothing to a successful IPO. Just from Q1 of 1996 to Q1 of 1997, revenue went from $875,000 to $16 million. Amazon has since moved from the bookstore to the everything store, with their logo even showing that they have everything from A to Z. If you'd chosen to invest $100 in 1997, you'd be sitting with a comfortable $129,186 as of February 2020. Not a bad return. Amazon is currently worth over $1.5 trillion, and Jeff Bezos is the richest man on the planet, with a net worth of approximately $178 billion. There are 3 main things that make Amazon successful. Compared to every other store in the world, Amazon has a greater selection of products for the cheapest price with the fastest delivery. They're the ultimate facilitators of the capitalist human, a consumer's dream. Amazon can do this because they have an abundance of capital. They raised $2.1 billion in investor money before they even broke even. They have the understanding that if they spend big at the start, for example on an incredibly expensive, ultra-fast delivery system, they can put themselves in a position that no other business can. A worthy investment. With this capital, Amazon can invest in as many different experiments as they want, such as a floating warehouse, for example. Yep, they actually filed a patent for that. This keeps them cutting edge while being easy to scrap if it goes wrong. Amazon has also had a fair chunk of their own successful products away from just their main 3 successes. The Kindle gave us a new reading experience, and Amazon themselves account for over 80% of total ebook sales worldwide. While e-readers may no longer be the fashion with declining sales, they've also moved into the AI world with their Echo. At the beginning of 2019, Amazon revealed they had sold over 100 million Alexa devices, which will have only risen since then. They've also started opening Amazon Go stores, which use cameras to work out exactly what you've bought and then charges you as you leave the store, removing checkouts altogether. Their experiments lead to innovation, no doubt, but something that people tend to miss when thinking about Amazon is AWS. Amazon Web Services, the cloud platform provided by Amazon, brings in huge revenue for the company. And if it were a standalone company, it's been predicted to be within the top 10 most valuable companies in the world. Certainly not worth forgetting about. However, the real winner of all of Amazon's triumphs? Prime. Prime has taken over the world. In 2019, there were 112 million Prime users in the USA alone. In 2020, that rose to over 150 million users. It offers free 1-day delivery, Prime Video, Prime Music. There are student options, Prime-specific discounts, and more. There's increased functionality with Echo products, taking a leaf out of Apple's book with the connected ecosystem. It's cheap as well, and it no doubt benefits the consumer as much as it does Amazon. Amazon has the joy of gaining huge insight on their customers through Prime, building an entirely personalised picture of their consumerist selves. As with Facebook, data means power and money. Then again, when it comes to shopping, people seem less worried about giving away data, because all it does is make your life easier. Does that make Amazon less scary than Facebook? You'll have to wait and see. Let's talk about Bezos. The man left his cushy job on Wall Street to sell books from his garage on the internet. Now he's the richest man in the world. That shows serious balls. In recent times, however, those balls haven't always been in the right court. His well-documented affair is in no way as bad as some of the antics of one Mr. Jobs, but it does make you question his character. He is also efficiency hungry, with complaints about the Amazon working conditions constantly coming up. How does he compare to the other Horseman CEOs? Well, he does tend to come across relatively well. He's not quite as deified as Jobs or Zuck, and he seems to want innovation and actual consumer benefits. His affair has made global news and not helped his image one bit. His company has both crushed and then facilitated the idea of small business, something very close to this channel's heart.
Big things start small.
Anyone who earns that sort of money will have done some bad things. However, Bezos seems to be at least working in the name of business innovation and consumer satisfaction instead of simple evilness. Now's the time for the controversies. Amazon are serial tax avoiders. In the UK, they pay particularly little corporation tax. However, in this day and age, it's incredibly hard to find a large company that doesn't. They have been caught up in a few scandals, including price discrimination, where those more likely to buy a product have been charged more. However, Bezos has since vowed that will never happen again. Amazon has been caught up in many issues with their working conditions, where warehouses have been described as grueling and unsafe. Particular focus has been placed on the high injury rates, which are 3 times higher than the average warehouse. Many stories have been released about the exceptionally high expectations for Amazon workers, whose performance is constantly tracked by a computer to ensure targets are hit. They've also faced the issue of putting many businesses out of business. While they still provide a platform for other businesses to use, this is clearly not a good thing. The evil part of it is the fact that there's no stopping for humans. Growth will be inevitable and targeted. Efficiency goals will end up swapping employment with robots and drones. Businesses will be put out of business as long as Amazon grows. At a certain point, the priorities have to be controlled for them to stop being evil. Unfortunately, business doesn't tend to work like that. So, are they good or evil? Well, on the good side, their product offering is possibly the best out of all the Horsemen. In a capitalist society, offering the quickest, most varied, and most useful store in the world, while constantly innovating to make consumer life easier, makes them simply a phenomenal company. Business-wise, I honestly can't fault them. Simple as that. 5 stars. What they offer is just better than either Facebook or Apple. Hands down. Evil is where it's interesting. On the surface, they come across quite well. However, they have caused the death of millions of businesses. They're slowly killing all their competition. They dodge tax. They collect serious amounts of data in terms of your shopping habits, and their employee treatment is exceptionally poor. With the amount of revenue they make, with their Prime Dynasty, with their data stores, their cloud stores, their constant growth, they could just take over the world. So I'm giving them an overall score of 4 for evil, with a potential to reach 5 and beyond. Keep enjoying Amazon's products now, because in the future, we may all be working for them. That's the third Horseman. Only one remains.